This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like a takeout.
Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of Real Talk with Coach Alison G. I am really excited to finally take this vision and what I do and bring it to this format, which has been a really long time goal for me. So yay me, I've actually reached a goal, so I'm really excited about that. Who am I? Obviously, I'm Coach Alison, and I am a wellness coach, but through the years, I like to call myself a success and accountability coach because the business of health coaching and weight loss and wellness has evolved so much over the last couple of years, and more than a couple years, that really what I am is the GPS to your trip. Basically meaning I'm kind of the person that you plug in where you want to go and what you want to do, and it's my job to take you there in the shortest, fastest, best, safest direction as possible. Ultimately, you are the driver of that vehicle in whichever way you decide to veer. I'm along for the ride and hopefully trying to recorrect you towards whatever your goal is. So my job is to be your best cheerleader. A lot of experience doing that through the years. I've done this now for over 12 years, starting first in the medical industry, working alongside physicians until I've gone out on my own. Clearly, I am as much a client as I am the coach. This has been a lifelong journey for me, navigating the ups and downs, and the way that I've gotten through it is to find the humor in the things that we do wrong, or not even wrong, but the things we struggle with in that day-to-day, that side of ourselves that's way more vulnerable than our professional side, which is so strong. I like to think of it as that the hidden 15-year-old deep inside. So we do silly things, and through the years I've seen those silly things, and rather than trying to teach people a how to, I actually just want to kind of call out those things, I guess, and talk about them, because I think that's how we move forward, that's how we progress. And so through the years, I've become a certified personal trainer, a certified life coach, a certified nutritional consultant, and I've worked with facilities and physicians and people and all kinds of things across the board, and it all comes down to the same. We are human beings, and we do some really dumb shit, if I can say that, but I just want us to see why we do it, because those are ultimately our sabotages. And that's what we're going to talk about in my podcast as we move through the different episodes, because I think that's the fun part. If we don't take ourselves so seriously, but seriously enough to make those changes that we need to live productive, long, and healthy lives, that's the best thing that I can ask for, and what I hope for from the people that are listening to me. So it's kind of like, why do we need a wellness coach, right? Why do I even need someone like you? I kind of joke and I say to my clients through the years, it's kind of like telling your child who's struggling in math, I'm not getting you a tutor till you get it right. That's just dumb. It's just not good thinking. I'm kind of the tutor. So while we would do that with our children, we kind of want to do that back to our 15-year-old self again, that person that we need that extra helping hand, and because we're older and because we're wiser and because we think we're supposed to know more, we forget about that young person still growing inside of us on that personal level that needs that extra helping hand. So guys, I'm the tutor, and I hope you really don't tell your child ever to go get a tutor or not get a tutor till they get it right, because that just doesn't make sense. My coaching approach has been kind of different through the years. I'm more about, I can't fit people into a mold, and I know that there's a lot of coaches that are out there and they have their niche, and that's wonderful. I'm kind of that, what do you need from me? I think through the years, some of the best coaches that I've ever met have been people who have lived by example. And so I will be the first one to tell you that when I coach people, our motto is progress, not perfection. And you're going to hear about that more in a later episode that we have about that perfection mindset. But it really is about progress, and progress looks different to everyone and in different areas of our life. And when we are struggling with trying to become healthier, because ultimately at the end of the day, I am a weight loss guru. That's been my strong suit. And through that has become working with hormonal disruptions, working with time management. The biggest thing that I've learned and that I'm really focusing on now is working with people on work-life integration and not just work-life balance, because there really never will be a balance. There can't be. At some point in time, whether it's due to financial, due to personal reasons, due to wanting to succeed in your career, sometimes our career or professional side is going to take more of our time than our personal side. And so trying to balance that, I think, is just as frustrating as saying I want to lose 10 pounds in 10 minutes, right? Probably not going to happen there either. So it's more about that work-life integration. How can I bring the two together in a way that makes sense for me? And again, for everyone, that looks completely different. And that's kind of the goal. And one of the reasons why I wanted to get that podcast going and really get this information out to you is because different people need different things. And that's I feel the part of the coach is to help you navigate what you need, and that may change. So I haven't really been able to pigeonhole myself into just one niche area. So my client is anyone who needs a helping hand moving forward, who's feeling stuck, who's feeling like they have a goal that they really want to get to, but just for whatever reason hasn't been able to get there. And maybe you just don't have a great support system. Maybe all the people around you, it's like, you might be the girl that is saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, and you're going out with the girls who are skinny rails and they're drinking their weight in alcohol and eating those fries, and you're the lone girl sitting at the table who's feeling like, why am I having to give up this? Clearly you knew what your goal was, but then your friends might pose another problem. So I'm that cheerleader that you call when you run into the bathroom because you feel like you're ready to break down and cry because it's just not fair. And I might be that person that you text and say, hey, I need some help. I'm your SOS. So that's really about the kind of people that I work with, what I want to do as a coach, what I want to get across. What do I expect you to expect? I expect you to expect greatness. I expect you to want to take it to another level. I want you to push yourself a little bit harder than you thought that you could. I want you to break some barriers that you've set up for yourself. I don't want you to box yourself in. I am really pro empowerment because I kind of feel like if there's things I've gone through in life and can do it, nobody else has excuses. We all have our things that will challenge us, and we're all going to have the reasons why we can't do something, and I'm the can girl. You might give me 20 reasons why it's not possible, and I might be the person who pushes you for tell me the one you can. And that's where we'll start from. And there's all kinds of amazing self-help books that are out there. There's amazing personal development books that are out there. And during these podcasts, I'll share some of my favorite with you and tell you things that have worked for me, because again, I'm also a client on this road. I don't think we ever stop learning to be our best selves or our healthier selves, but I'm also not going to candy coat a lot of the stuff that's out there, and I will call bullshit on things that I'm hearing or reading. And that's another thing I want you to expect from me in these episodes that we're doing is exactly what it says. It's real talk. I know people have questions, and I'll give you the best answers that I can. But I've also had to weed through a lot of bullshit. And trust me when I tell you, if there's a fad out there, I have tried it first for you to see how it's worked. And I can dispel the myths that are out there. I want to tell you the pros. I want to tell you the cons. I want you to have the real truth, because I'm not going to lie. The industry that I'm in is a $1 billion industry that feeds on the low self-esteem and self-confidence in people to make you feel bad about yourself so that you'll buy a product or that you'll do something. And I'm not about that. I can't do that. And I want to help people understand what's real and what's fake, what works, what doesn't, what you're doing and how unhealthy it could be and what damage could it do later. And we're inundated with these things all the time. I go grocery shopping, and as I'm checking out, there's about 5 magazines in front of me that tell me what I'm not doing right and what I need to be doing better and how I can do it faster and quicker. And guess what, guys? The human body doesn't work that way. So I spent a lot of time trying to research what should we be doing? What are the actual expectations that we should have for ourselves? And sometimes when we set those unrealistic expectations, we're going to fail over and over and over. And guess what? That just feeds that mindset that we can't do it. And again, I'm not a fan of int words. Can't, shouldn't, wouldn't, won't. I don't like those N apostrophe T words. In a lot of areas, I feel that we can, we should, we will, we try. Yoda says it best, I believe, for my Star Wars people, right? I believe Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. And I am a huge fan of that phrase because I cannot stand when people say, I'll try. Because I know right there, that means they're not going to do it. Right? Point blank, you're not going to do it. If you're going to try, that was like growing up, and I don't know how you guys are, but I remember asking my mom over and over again, Mom, can I go over my friend's house later? We'll see. Mom, are we going to go to the beach like you said we are? We'll see. And over again, we'll see really meant no. So I think that's maybe traumatized me a little bit as I've gotten older. So I'm really a person who's about definitive. You're going to do it or you're not going to do it. And it's okay if you don't want to try something or if now is not the time, but I bet you there is something you can try and you will do. And these are the things that I'm hoping to get you past those hurdles, why you've put up the walls, why the barriers, why the frustrations, and if we can poke a little fun at ourselves and see what we're doing and then maybe figure out why we're doing it, I guarantee you pretty much are going to be able to move forward and move ahead. There are different kinds of mindsets we all have. And those are things I'm really going to explore. And that's been a fun theme over the years of me working with people, that I have kind of taken this little journal and jotted down these different mindsets that I've come across or things I've done that I just kind of laughed at myself later. So that's something we're really going to be talking about. My next episode is going to be on being the perfectionist. That's been a huge one through my career of dealing with people that feel that they just have to get everything done perfectly and to the letter that it's said, and the minute that they miss a step, it's all over. And so we're going to really talk about quashing some of these mindsets, or when we see these people approach, how do we stop that from occurring? So it's a little bit like, if you've never seen the movie or you're too young to know who Sybil was, there's a great movie, Sybil, who had multiple personalities in her brain. I remember studying it in psychology class, and she had about, I think, like 30 different personalities in her head. We're going to look at it from that not as extreme view, but the fact that we have different people who visit and take over our brain for us. So we're going to have a little fun with that as we get going during the podcast and during the different series. I'm going to have some guest speakers on that might be tackling some different things such as exercise or dealing, especially one that's coming up that I'm super going to be excited about is, you know, if you're a mom or a parent of a special needs child and learning just how your life looks totally different than mine, and having someone come in and talk to us about that who works in that arena to help us figure out, you know, what are some things that I could be doing to make my life a little less stressful. At the end of the day, guys, that's what I'm here for. I want to make it easier to you. This does not have to be a hard journey. I hear that so often. I just don't have the time. It's too hard. I don't have the time. Yeah, we do. I think it takes more time, more finances, and more energies to keep doing the wrong things over and over again, right? There's that saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And we're not going to do it. We're going to put a stop to that. We're going to have fun doing it. Then I'm going to show you how to make it easy. I'm going to show you how to make it simple. I just want you to know that I'm here to be a main part of that support system for you. It's not something, I don't believe, I haven't seen it really successfully. Again, I've been doing this for a really long time. I don't think that this is an area of your life you should be trying to do by yourself. I don't think, if you don't have a level of accountability, it's not going to get done. So if you're saying, but I saw my friend on Facebook and she posted these awesome pictures, guess what? Facebook and social media are her accountability. What people say in those comments are her accountability. Now, whether or not she can keep going, that's a totally different story. So I'm excited to see what's coming up. I'm excited to be able to share all of this wealth of knowledge that I have. I thank you for joining me today and being a part of my very first podcast, just giving you a little intro to me, what to expect, and I will catch you on our next episode, which will be about that perfectionist mindset. In the meantime, feel free to visit my website at www.coachalisongold.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Coach Alison Gold for even more fun and tips. But until the next episode, I hope you have a great, wonderful day. And remember, take yourself seriously, but not too seriously. Have a great one.
Just the way you like it, the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.